What's going on, you guys? Today we're taking the 2023 Dodge Charger SXT out for a drive. Now, I really wanted to make this video not only because we actually have done the Hellcat, the Scat Pack, and the RT, and not the V6, but also everyone on YouTube only talks about the V8 versions of the Dodge Charger. What about the V6? This thing is a lot cheaper not only to purchase, but to maintain and own. And so, should you get this? Let's find out. All right, you guys, let's jump right into it. And first things first, I have to mention the design of this Dodge Charger. I think all Dodge Chargers look so mean and nice. Could partially be because police officers use them, and so I get scared whenever I see one. But nonetheless, I mean, the headlights, I think, are a huge part of what makes this car look as good as it does. With this being the SXT, this has a different and distinguishable front end from the GT, RT, Scat Pack, etc. I think it's up to your own personal opinion, but I do like the GT's front end a bit better. However, again, the point of this video is this is the most affordable Dodge Charger you can get. And is it worth looking at? And again, we're gonna talk about that. Under the hood of this is a 3.6 liter V6 making 292 horsepower and 260 pound-feet of torque, putting all of that power to the rear wheels. If you do step up to the GT, you get an extra 8 horsepower for 300 total, and you do have all-wheel drive on the GT. Seems weird to me. I feel like the Hellcat should be the one deserving of all-wheel drive, and nonetheless, I guess you get a Trackhawk for that. Moving along to the back end here, this is another angle of this car I think looks so good. The tail lights, the exhaust tips, and the spoiler really completes the back end of this car. Guys, if you own a Charger or are thinking about getting one and you don't have a spoiler in the back, that really adds to the look of the back end of this car. But without further ado, let's hop inside of this thing and talk about what this is like to drive. I got the AC blasting because it is about 500 degrees here in Florida. Now, this is a big vehicle. It's 4,000 pounds. So the comfort levels of this car is pretty high up there. Now we're going to talk about the suspension and how it feels over bumps and all of that as well, but just first impressions of sitting inside of the Dodge Charger SXT, and for that matter, virtually any Dodge Charger. It feels big, it feels bulky, and when you look around, you realize how practical this thing really is. I mean, a lot of headroom, actually more than enough headroom. I'm 6 foot tall, and I could still grow another entire foot and be fine. Easily you can fit 4 adults inside of this thing and have a lot of space in the trunk as well. But just overall, the presentation of this car and sitting in here, I mean, huge steering wheel, huge dash. You can't really see much of the front end. I mean, if you raise your seat, you could. But yeah, the front end does not look nearly as big as a lot of other cars that I've driven, which is nice for, you know, parking and maneuvering around. It is a bit scary having a big front end, not knowing if you're going to hit something. But other than that, guys, I mean, you just have the basics, right? It is the SXT, it is the V6. So unlike in the RT and the Scat Pack and the Hellcat, you don't have cool settings and performance metrics and launch control and all that stuff. But that's okay. Again, this is about, you know, saving some money and not going into a bunch of debt with a 30% interest rate like a lot of people do just to have the RT or Scat Pack name with their Charger. All right, green light, off we go, and we're getting cut off by another Charger. All right, we're good. Let's floor it. I mean, guys, you can look around, you can look at the speedometer. This thing can get up and go, seriously. With the RT having, you know, around 380-ish horsepower, it is not much of a difference from the RT. And I just think to myself, like, my gosh, you're spending so much more in maintenance, insurance, gas, etc., costs to even purchase the vehicle in the first place, that it makes the V6 version a lot more attractive, at least to me. This thing is absolutely quick enough, and I think the real selling point here is if you have not owned like a quote-unquote nice car yet, you're coming from like a $5,000 or $10,000 cash car, you've worked hard at your job, you've saved up some money, and you want to treat yourself to your first like nice car. First of all, design-wise, this is a very, very, very nice car. Driving-wise, I'm here to tell you, if you're coming from one of those, like a $5,000 or $10,000 cash car, and stepping inside of this, this is going to feel genuinely fast to you. I've driven a lot of very high horsepower vehicles. I mean, I started with the Hellcat, went to the Scat Pack, then the RT, now we're in the V6, and I'm still honestly saying that this thing feels like it has a sufficient amount of power. I really do mean that. Now, does it sound as good as the RT? No, not even close, unfortunately. And again, with the power that this thing has, with how it feels, with how it looks, to me, the only reason you're even getting the RT or RT specifically is for the sound. Then when we talk about Scat Pack and Hellcat, yeah, those cars are rowdy and they feel a lot faster and a lot more fun than this does. But again, from a daily driving perspective, this, gosh, everyone's like flooring it. Holy, I guess I'll join them. Look at that. Oh my, guys, ever since I moved down to Florida, I've had to get used to this insanity. Even police cars drive like that. I'm serious. I've seen cops go 25, 30 over and genuinely not care. This is a great place to live, I guess. But to quickly talk about how this thing feels comfort-wise, well, you have a lot of space, so that box is absolutely checked. You know, you are sitting on just standard cloth seats, so nothing too special, but at the end of the day, guys, it's just about whatever you get used to. I mean, you could have frickin' gold-plated seats, and eventually, after a week, you're not really gonna feel that special. It's just what you're used to. So I feel great sitting inside of this thing and just cruising along. Suspension-wise, I own a Lexus ES350, a 2020, and so, you know, that has a soft suspension. This, it is a bit more harsh than that. Again, you're not paying a whole lot for the entry price of this vehicle, and so you can't ask for everything, obviously, but if I had to go on a 3 or 4 hour long road trip over some semi-rough roads, I would have virtually no complaints doing so. This thing doesn't have a problem going over bumps, and yeah, you feel it. It's a little bit harsh, but trust me when I say I've been in significantly worse. So the 0 to 60 time in this car is gonna be around 6 seconds. Now the RT, I've gotten 5 flat. The Scat Pack, I've gotten 4.3. Then the Hellcat, honestly, guys, that thing just spins too much. I'm not a huge fan of the Hellcat. That's why I was saying, like, the GT version, with the GT having all-wheel drive, why does the Hellcat not have all-wheel drive? The Trackhawk does, but I think Dodge Chargers and Challengers would seriously benefit from having all-wheel drive with the Hellcat motor, because rear-wheel drive, you can't put the power down. This you can. Even the RT has a little bit of trouble with spinning the tires. This allows you to fully use the vehicle. If you want to floor it even from a stop, this is built to handle the power that it has, which is really nice. All right, let's check out the turning radius here. Whoa, wow. Okay, wow, I was expecting to go in like 1 or 2 lanes over from this one. That is actually very, very surprising. And as for the interior of this car, I mean, it is pretty cheap, guys. Like, a lot of plastic, a little bit of cloth here. Again, the seats are fully cloth. You can't ask for much when you're purchasing a vehicle that's, you know, 25, 35,000. I mean, 35, you could expect a little bit more, but you can pick these up used for like 20, 25. And so the interior is just enough. Again, you know, when I pay a lot of money for a car, I mean, I pay for the performance. And so the interior, it's like, that's not really what you're like touching. It doesn't matter if the door panel is made of diamonds. Like, you're paying for the driving experience. And that's why I'm emphasizing how it is comfortable enough, it is practical enough, and the practicality is a side of the car you're gonna be using often. And then the get up and go, the pickup that this car has is sufficient, and it's built, again, with the tires and the setup to handle the power that it has. Once you get into the RT and beyond, it's a little bit questionable, right? It's like big car, it's like a big box with just a fat engine stuffed in it. This feels a little bit more like what the Dodge Charger is supposed to be built out as, because it can handle itself very, very well. And we can test out the brakes here. That is nice. 4,000 pounds, standard iron brakes. Gosh, that's the cool thing about Chargers. Like, yeah, you can look at, you know, older BMW, although then maintenance and costs of ownership are kind of at play there. When you look at other competition with this type of car, I mean, look how fast, I mean, this thing is torquey at the low RPMs, right when you press on the gas. That is something I noticed very quickly with this car. Right when you tap on the throttle, it can go really quick. But then, yeah, it's not as exciting if you're already rolling at, you know, 40, 50 miles an hour and then floor it. But yeah, the thing with this car is, like, it is a nice balance of sportiness, comfort, practicality. A lot of nice cars out today. Jeez. It's just a nice balance of everything. And again, if this is going to be your daily driver, or you have a family, or you often ride around with friends, you take them to restaurants and whatnot, that's where this car comes into play and is actually a really, really good option for you. All in all, guys, I really think this car deserves a bit more love. And I get it, a lot of people want the RT, the Scat Pack, the Hellcat just to look good for themselves, but seriously, consider saving a bunch of money and getting a car that still looks amazing, is definitely fast enough, and very, very cheap to own. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think about this car, and if you own one, let me know your thoughts on ownership of this as well. Appreciate all of you for watching, and I'll see you very, very soon in the next video. Peace out.